A cold, chilly wasteland that nobody wants to be in. I'll be trying to survive 100 days in the freezing Antarctica. And my main goal is to try to escape and make it home safe and to defeat the ice boss. And before my snowy adventure begins, if you guys haven't seen my brand new hardcore series yet, please go check it out after watching this video. Also, a friendly reminder to hit the subscribe button. Anyways, I hope you guys have your blankets and hot chocolate because this is my 100 days surviving Antarctica. On day 1, I woke up right on top of a mountain. With the wind blowing hard and heavy snow, I couldn't even see where I was going. I had no food, no water, and no clothes. It was pretty dang cold. So I ran around as quickly as I could to find some shelter before I freeze. I couldn't find anything. However, I did run into a giant spruce tree, and that was enough to cover me from the blizzard. Talking about blizzards, I'm kind of thinking about DQ Blizzard ice cream right now, making me kind of hungry. Sorry, back to the story. Being under the tree helped a little bit, but I was still really cold. So I dug myself underground, hoping it'll be warmer, and hopefully by the next day the blizzard will be gone. Yes, I slept underground, okay? I know I'm a caveman. On day 2, I dug myself out, and the good news is that the blizzard has blown away. The bad news, however, I was starving. Not a surprise there, I mean. And I was pretty cold as well. So I crafted up a wooden pickaxe, slurped up some cobblestone off of the ground, and then made a stone axe to mine more wood. I also crafted a sword just in case. I have no idea what's out there. Anything can attack me at this point. As I was running around, I thought this was a wasteland. I didn't see any animals or any villages anywhere until I finally ran into a rabbit and I chased this guy around and needed his meat. After eating the rabbit I just killed, I finally ran right into a village. All I had left was a rabbit's foot, so I was praying for some food in this village. Luckily, however, there were some wild berries and there was a whole bunch of campfires everywhere, so I spent some time to sit beside it and warm up because I was freezing my nuts off. I then started raiding some of the homes and there was literally nothing inside them, but this one house had a chest and I was hoping there'd be food in it, but there were just books and paper. Oh, what a bummer. But the next house I raided had 3 pieces of iron and 3 pieces of wheat in it. Hey man, I'm not complaining. 1 piece of bread will feed me. In this entire village though, I haven't seen one single villager. They must have been saved or something. I'm not sure where they went. I did find a lectern with a book and quill in it. I took a read and it said Ooga Booga. Are you serious? The villagers finally learned how to read and write and the first thing they wrote was Ooga Booga with a question mark? That is so impressive. I'm proud of them. Let's go, because I would have wrote the same thing. After raiding another house of its wheat, it was getting nighttime and I heard mobs running towards me. This one zombie had an iron sword on him. So I slammed the door, barricaded myself in because I was scared they were going to break the doors down, and went right to bed. It was so nice being able to sleep in a nice warm and cozy bed in a nice cozy home. But that didn't stop me from exploring. I was determined to find my way out of Antarctica. I have no idea how I got here, but I'm going to find my way out. While running around, I ran into a polar bear. I'm surprised he didn't want to eat me. He must have had a nice dinner before. And you know what that tells me? Some food is around here. After scrolling around a little bit, I found myself another rabbit. And wow, these things are hard to hit. And instead of eating it raw, I ran back to the village to heat it up on the campfire. Let's go, Popeye's chicken. Oh wait, I'm eating a rabbit. Dang it. Hey, at least in my mind, I thought it was chicken. But anyway, since nobody was living in this village, I decided to steal all of the campfires. Cause you know, your boy's too lazy to mine for coal. And it's pretty cold in Antarctica. Once I stole all of the campfires, I ran to the top of this mountain to try to get a better view of the entire island. Maybe there was something around to save me. But unfortunately, there was nothing other than the igloo that I saw over here. I went inside, closed the door, and I made myself a campfire. I placed it down and used it to warm up. Man, I wish I could make some s'mores or something, or some wieners. Oh my god, that sounds so good. And it was getting so hot in the igloo that the ice started melting. But hey, I'm not complaining. From day 7 to 8, once I was all warmed up and ready to go, I left my igloo to go gather some resources to make myself a shed. And I went chopping for some wood. On day 9, I found myself a wandering moose. He was pretty huge. And you know what that means? It means the moose has a lot of meat on him. A lot of meat that I can eat. Once I attacked him, he started chasing me. And his uppercut attack move was pretty deadly. I didn't have a shield to block his attack, so it was pretty risky. He got me low a couple of times and I had to run away and heal up. I finally killed him though, and he dropped me 1 piece of raw moose ribs. 1 piece? Are you kidding me? That pixelated moose can feed my entire real life family. And it only gave me 1 piece of rib? Oh my god. But there was no time to complain. The sun was setting and mobs were about to spawn. So I picked this random spot and built myself a small little shed to protect myself throughout the night. I made myself a campfire to stay warm, and I didn't have enough space for a bed. So I quickly expanded my shed, hoping no creepers were waiting outside for me, and I slapped on my bed and went to sleep. Waking up on day 11, I decided to go mining. I needed some iron tools, armor, and a shield in order to protect myself from all of these mobs and creatures around Antarctica. After mining a staircase down, I actually landed right into a cave and got my first ever pieces of iron. We're getting out of the Stone Age, guys. I'm not a caveman anymore. After mining some ores, I found a deeper part of the cave. I was hoping it would lead me to diamonds. It was pretty dark and spooky down here though. I slapped down a torch and there were 2 zombies waiting for me. You guys think you're sneaky, huh? Well, have a fun time in heaven. And then the cave led me right into a dead end. Wow, my luck is like off the charts. I should go buy a lottery ticket. After mining a whole bunch of iron ore, I had enough to make a full set of iron armor and tools. I threw them into a furnace and played the waiting game. Once I had all of the iron into iron ingots, I made myself an entire set of iron armor and suited up. Let's go. I'm ready to kill all those mooses. And once I left to explore more of the cave, I ran into another zombie. And I just realized I forgot to make myself a shield. Every single time I forget to make a shield. Am I the only one? Do you guys forget as well? After exploring some more, I found some lava pools and I was really confident I was going to find some diamonds. But I had no luck at all. I then found myself another lava pool and there was nothing. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't buy a lottery ticket. This zombie I killed did drop an iron ingot though. I mean, that's pretty good. Huh. Disappointment. And then I ran into the creepiest insect ever. After this encounter, I knew it was my time to leave. It was huge and it crawled so fast. It then ran up to me and it was a cockroach. Ugh. And once I killed it, it made the nastiest noise. Yep, that was disgusting. I was out of here, man. I took my torches and left. I even barricaded that part of the cave up. I didn't want the spirit of the cockroach to haunt me. God, those things are so nasty. Please tell me you guys hate cockroaches too in the comments. On day 16, I decided to explore a little bit. And the first thing I saw was 2 mooses. It's time to put my iron tools to the test. That sounds so cruel. But I needed something to eat. And one of these mooses didn't have antlers. Is that the female moose or the male moose? I have no idea. Probably the female. I don't know. I'm not an amylogologist. But anyways, I went in for the kill. And having a shield is so nice because it blocks the moose's headbutts. No, I don't like headbutts. I like calling it uppercuts. It blocks the moose's uppercuts. I then started attacking the female moose. At least I think it's the female. Please don't hate me in the comments because I don't know my moose type species thingy. But anyways, it didn't really hurt that much because this moose didn't have antlers. So it kind of felt like the moose wanted to be pet. After killing the mooses, I was running around chasing these rabbits until they led me into this creature. And it was a grizzly bear. Oh boy. As a child, I was so scared of getting attacked by a grizzly bear, even though I grew up in the city. But now it was time to face my fears on a pixelated game. Okay, never mind. The point is, I'm gonna face my fears, okay? Don't judge me. But I slowly creeped up to him with my shield up and my axe out. And once it got up close, he growled at me. I thought he was gonna start swinging, but I had to show him who was dominant. And I made the first move and asked the grizzly bear out on a date. No, I'm just kidding. Oh my god, I'm so dumb. But anyways, I started attacking the grizzly bear and we were in a pretty intense match. He hit me once and hit him back and he died just like that. How does a grizzly bear take less hits than a moose? What? And I was hoping for some bear meat or something juicy. He dropped me his hair. Bruh, what do you want me to do with this hair? I'm about to make a weave or something, make a wig and put it in my head. Maybe I can camouflage or something. And the bear also dropped some maggots. I know I'm stuck out here in the wild, but like, come on, I'm not Bear Grylls. I'm not gonna eat it. I then did a lot of more exploring, trying to find some animals to kill. I then found a herd of mooses and bears. And for some reason, I thought it would be a good idea to take 2 of these grizzly bears at once. I felt like Floyd Mayweather trying to fight Logan Paul and Jake Paul at the same time. But anyways, I ended up killing these bears, just like what Mayweather would do. And then I killed all of these mooses. But I knew I was going to be in some trouble. I didn't have any food and the sun was setting and I had no idea where my house was. And I didn't want to waste my raw ribs and eat it. And once I ran out of hunger and I couldn't run anymore, I started getting attacked by mobs. Oh no, I knew I was screwed. I just tried to run for my life. And then these homeless skeletons showed up and I knew it was the end of me. And one of them actually nailed me with his arrow and hit me with a slowness arrow. As if I wasn't already slow enough, I didn't have any hunger. I just ran as fast as I could. Well, I mean, I kind of walked because I couldn't run. Anyways, I then got attacked by a zombie from behind and I was panicking. I was at 2.5 hearts and I was dodging arrows like I was in a James Bond movie. I then tried crossing the river as fast as I could. Then one of the skeletons nailed me in the back of the head head and I was at 2 hearts. Yup, this is the end. I'm gonna die. But luckily I got away in time and finally made it back to my house. And of course there were mobs waiting for me, including a skeleton. I blocked his arrow and ran right for my door into my shack. Oh my god, my heart was pounding. I tried to sleep my fear away, but there were way too many mobs waiting for me outside of my McDonald's shack. But I barricaded my door just in case with some cobblestone and stayed up all night. On the night of day 17, I was having some trouble sleeping and I thought all of the mobs were gone. So I broke myself a little window to check outside and there was a skeleton waiting for me and a creeper was just about to blow up. I panicked so hard I just barricaded myself in. Oh man, I thought that creeper was gonna kill me. Once it was morning, I opened my door and there was a creeper waiting outside for me. Is this the same creeper waiting for revenge? What is this? He was waiting right at the door. It took me a while to kill him because I kept having to open the door, hit him once, and close the door before he blew up, but eventually I finally killed him. And there were 2 skeletons, a baby zombie, and 2 creepers. And there was no way I'm gonna kill them all, so I just let the creeper blow them all up. But I was pretty sick of living in my McDonald's shack. I wanted to make myself a better home, but I needed some more blocks to make the foundation. So I went down to my mine and mined some cobblestone. After mining out this entire area, I should have enough cobblestone for everything. On day 22 to 25, I started laying down some foundation for my new house. And this house was gonna be a lot bigger and fancier than my little shack. And once I had the layout done and all the windows planned out, I started working on the front of the house. And you know me, I had to make it out of spruce wood. Not because that's the only wood I can find in Antarctica, but just because it looks so nice. After building up most of the walls and the window holes, I started working on the ceiling. I didn't want it to snow into my house because you never know when a blizzard's gonna come. And this is the design I came up with. Just a simple triangle cobblestone little squarey thingy. I don't know why I said square, but just a simple roof. What am I saying? How am I even a YouTuber, man? I ask myself this every day. But I appreciate all of you guys watching so much. You guys are awesome. All I needed was glass to finish up the house, so the next day I went to find some sand and slurped it all up from the ocean. After it was done smelting, I turned it into glass panes because, you know, I'm just cheap and I like saving stuff. And now my cat is sitting on my lap licking my thumb. I'll put a video on the screen. I can't get any work done because of these cats. If you guys want cat updates, go follow my Twitter and my Instagram in the description below, guys. All right, I'm sorry. Back to the video. Once the chests were all placed down, now it's time for the tedious part of moving all of my items into the brand new chest room. Once I officially moved into my new home, I slapped down some beds and went to sleep. On day 26, I woke up to a blizzard. It was freezing in my house, even with a campfire in it. So I decided to make a fireplace so maybe it will retain all the heat inside the house. And despite the cold, I had the idea to build myself a flag. My very own flag claiming Antarctica as my own country because nobody else was living here. And I think I'm starting to accept the fact that I'm staying here for the rest of my life. So I started working on a flag. And after careful design and engineering, I came up with this design for my country. Pretty creative, am I right? Totally not spitting random blocks onto a flag. Pff, what? And I'm gonna call this place the Frozen Cookie. From day 27 to 30, I decided to go mining for some diamonds. I had a really big feeling that some type of boss was gonna attack me at the end of these 100 days. Because, you know, that's how every horror movie starts. They're alone in a house in the middle of nowhere. So I crafted myself 3 extra iron pickaxes because I knew it would be a lot of shirt mining and went down under to go find some diamonds. After a little bit of caving, I finally found some diamonds on the edge of some lava. And it was a 7-veiner. Exactly what I was looking for. And then I had no luck after that. So I decided to just go strip mining. I finally found diamonds and it was only 4, but hey, I'll take it. Any diamonds is good diamonds. I then went for like a good 20 minutes without finding anything. Why is mining so hard? But either way, by the end of the 30 days, I finally got enough diamonds to make myself a full diamond armor set. After spending 3 whole days strip mining, I got a lot of cobblestone. So what better way to use all the cobblestone to make a mob grinder? Was that right English? I don't even know. But anyways, I got to work on the mob grinder. And I'm sure all of you guys have seen me build these a million times. So here's a quick montage of me building it. Now it's all finished. Time to wait for some mobs. And I waited all night and there was literally nothing. Not a single mob. But finally, after waiting an entire night, in the morning, I saw one zombie. I went up to go take a closer look. And the zombie wasn't even in the mob grinder. It was just a random zombie that spawned. It really looked like it was in the mob grinder though because it was sitting behind it. Wow, I got trolled. Oh, my hopes are dying. On the next day, on day 37, I woke up to another blizzard. It seems like these blizzards are becoming more frequent. So while I wait for the blizzard to blow away, I I decided to redecorate my home a little bit. I moved over my beds and my furnaces. I also added these nice hanging lights around the house. I even went outside to add some hanging lights. I was only out there for like 4 seconds and my nuts were already frozen. Man, it's cold out there. I also started working on a kitchen because, you know, your boy got a meal prep too. It's not only the hot TikTok girls that do that. And I thought a cauldron would be a nice touch to be a sink, with a lever being the faucet. After the kitchen was done, I decided to make a little heating area in the corner of my house so I can sit there surrounded by campfires and be warm. From day 40 to 44, I decided to go exploring a little bit more. So I made myself a diamond sword to protect myself from all of those random creatures and went on a journey. I also found a fly. I'm not even sure why that was significant to the story. All right, moving on. I just like to ramble, man. Why do people even watch these? But as I ran around the coast of the island, I did end up killing a lot of mooses for some food. I swear I'm gonna wipe out the entire moose species on this Antarctica island. I did find something really interesting though. I ran into 2 igloos with 2 villagers living there. I'm not the only one, and they seem to be living pretty happily together. It was really nice seeing those villagers. I felt like I was all alone here. And by nightfall, I also ran into another village. I looted some of their chests and there were wheat and iron in them. And there was also frozen fish laying on the ground of the village. The fish might be bad, but hey, I'll eat whatever. I then found the first ever villager of this village, and he was hiding from me under the bridge. He must have heard my stomping. Hey, but turns out I'm not the only one living here in Antarctica. Once I got back home, I threw all of my food into the campfires. And unfortunately, you can't have fried maggots for some reason, so I just ate them raw and live. My boy Bear Grylls would be proud of me. But anyways, today I wanted to move that villager underneath the bridge over to my house because he seemed like he was a little bit depressed. So I started constructing a fat bridge all the way over to the village so I can put them in a boat and take them safely to my house. And then I forced him onto my boat, and I realized it would be much faster moving him by ice instead of the bridge. And once I got on the ice, I was having too much fun. Skirt! I was Tokyo drifting around everything. Wow, a boat on ice is way too much fun. But back to business. My villager was pretty stubborn once I got him out of the boat, so I had to trap him and build a staircase up and move him into my house like that. Once I finally got him in, I blocked off the entrance so he can never leave again. I broke the boat to set him free, and the first thing he did was to jump into my bed. Like, bro, I know you live in my house now, but we're not that close yet, but all right. On day 51 to 52, I just remembered I can go to the Nether. It's nice and warm over there. What am I doing here in Antarctica? While I was going down for some lava, there was a planned creeper attack on me. I almost died, but once I got 10 pieces of obsidian, I went back up to my house and made the Nether portal. I was so ready to be warm again. But once I got in, I started getting attacked by this weird creature. The mommy was throwing its child at me or something. I have no idea what was happening. So I ran back into the portal and blocked myself off. Jeez, that was kind of scary. I only wanted to go to the Nether to warm up and get some ancient debris. So I grinded some XP to get to level 30. I then went down to the caves to mine some obsidian for an enchantment table, placed down some bookshelves, and enchanted my sword and pickaxe. I didn't have enough books to make a level 30 enchantment table, but anything will do. I then hopped right back into the Nether. I was ready to fight those moms catapulting their babies at me. And once I got in, I was not ready. There were way too many of them. I just made a run for it and dug myself right into the ground. I then collected some magma blocks because I know that would be a good heat source to warm me up. So I went back home and turned all of my armor into netherite armor. Let's go. On day 62, since I had some magma blocks from the Nether, I decided to make a basement dedicated to heating myself. And my villager was pretty curious on what we were doing. I'm gonna name this villager Dream. Totally did not steal that name from somebody else. What? And standing up here on the stairs and looking down on this villager trapped in a basement with cobblestone walls, it didn't look that right. But anyways, I built some stairs down to the basement and also added a fence gate so the villager won't come down here and accidentally die from the magma blocks. I then covered the floors and the walls with magma blocks, and it was getting pretty toasty in here already. On day 63, I was determined to get some glowstone for a future project. So I went into the Nether and had an intense battle with these random monsters. After some fighting, I finally killed the first one, and it dropped literally nothing. But eventually, I finally made it up to the glowstone and mined it up. And while I was heading back to my Nether portal, I was doing some parkour when I fell into the lava. I quickly built up and ran, trying to dodge these creatures. I was getting worried I was gonna die here, but I ran as fast as I could, trying not to fall into lava. And I finally made it back with 2.5 hearts as I blocked myself into the Nether portal. Jeez, my heart was going buck 10. But anyways, I had a plan to make some solar panels to utilize the sun to make some electricity. Maybe that way I can make a radio and contact people to send help and get me out of here. So I started constructing my first ever solar panel. This took a lot of engineering. Not really. But I made it out of black stone and it's inclined a little bit to gather as much sun as I could. And on day 66, I actually made some daylight sensors to actually utilize the sun. It felt like it was 8 years ago when I made my first daylight sensor. I thought it was game changing when Minecraft came out with this, and nobody even touches it now. But anyways, I started constructing more solar panels because I needed at least 4 to power a radio tower. Once I had all 4 solar panels complete, I connected all of them with redstone, which means quadruple the power. I then needed the power to go into a generator and a battery storage, so I used my old shack as that. I also threw down some repeaters to extend the strength of the redstone. I then made the power line go into my house, and now I can finally have electricity. As the day went on, I realized that the solar panels wasn't providing enough electricity to keep the lights on. It was flickering a little bit. So from day 73 to 75, I started designing some windmills. After a whole bunch of troubles building the wings, this is the design that I came up with. It's kind of ugly, but hey, it works. I also spent all night building a second windmill, cause why not? More electricity doesn't hurt. On day 76, I think being alone was actually getting to me. I think I was going insane. So for the next 4 days, I spent exploring the island again, hoping I would see a ship passing by and I can get their attention and come pick me up. I was also having a lot of fun with these bears. I was having an entire boxing match with this guy, but obviously I won. I also ran into a herd of mooses. I'm not sure if that's even the right term, but they were actually fighting. It was kind of cool to see, but obviously I'm the good guy here and decided to break up the fight by fighting them all. And I was getting pretty good with the shield. I was blocking all of their hits, and I left with 13 ribs. If only I had barbecue sauce, man. And as I was trying to head home, I got hit with another blizzard, and this one was the strongest of them all. I could not see anything past like 3 blocks in front of my eyes. There was no way I was gonna be able to find my house, but eventually I found some clues like my long cobblestone bridge, and I followed it right back to my home and jumped right into my basement to warm up. Wow, it felt so good. I also grabbed an armor stand and threw my netherite armor on it for it to dry because it got kind of wet. I was doing too many snow angels out there, and the blizzard wasn't going away, so I just went to sleep. And once I woke up, it was gone. But I really wanted to get out of here, man. I was getting so sick of being alone and cold. But I realized my solar panels got covered in snow, so I put down some torches so it can all melt. And on day 84 to 85, I started constructing the radio tower, because maybe if the SOS sign doesn't reach out far enough, the radio tower will reach out to space. I had to make the antenna super long and tall though. The signal had to get through the clouds and into space. Once it was my desired height, I then put down the redstone torches that will act as the output and input for the radio signal. I then threw down some cobblestone walls to reinforce the tower so the wind doesn't blow it over. After that was complete, it was time to work in the satellite dish. Yeah, no, I'm building so many things. It seems like I'm trying to contact Mars, but I just want to get out of here, man. Once I got the dish complete, I added like this triangle metal thing that you see in all of the satellite dishes in the movies. I don't know what it does, but let's just say it's like a laser beam. I connected the satellite dish to the power, and there it is. My satellite dish and my radio tower are working and trying to contact the aliens. On day 86, I sat there all alone and sad, sitting in all of my emotions and cold. But on day 87, I decided there's no time for me to be sad. I gotta get working or I'll starve to death. So I started clearing the area and collecting some seeds to make a farm. Now that I finally have electricity, I can provide enough heat to grow some wheat. Ooh, you hear that heat? Heat and wheat? Oh my, I'm a rapper. Dang, I'm stupid. And after running around punching all of the grass, I collected 60 seeds. I also went to cut down an entire spruce tree because I needed a lot of materials to make this big greenhouse. I also smelted up my remaining sand for some glass and started working on the greenhouse design. Once I got the layout complete, I started mining away all of the snow to replace it with some farming dirt. I then placed down the water to obviously, hydrate the crops. We gotta stay hydrated, boys and girls. And then I started hoeing the dirt. Once it was all hoed out, I then slapped down some seeds. And just like that, we have a farm growing. The seeds will probably freeze soon because I don't have any windows in or heat. So I started placing in my glass. Once all of the glass was placed down, I also took some bone meal that I got and started bone mealing the wheat. I just needed more seeds so I can fill the entire farm up. And I got pretty close. I just need a little section left. Once it got dark, I grabbed some torches and lit up the outside so no mobs will spawn. I didn't light up the inside though because I was going to put some redstone lamps to heat up the inside of the greenhouse so the crops won't freeze. So I grabbed all of my redstone materials like the redstone lamps, repeaters, and redstone dust and started placing the redstone lamps down. Once all the lamps were down, I then connected all of them to redstone dust so they would power, and then started working on the power lines that will lead from the solar panels. I connected it all up, put down some repeaters to carry on the power, and made some support beams for the power lines, just so it looks a little bit more realistic. And because I'm a little picky because I hate having things just floating around looking all weird and out of place. But hey, that took a pretty long time, but finally I have a greenhouse where I can grow some wheat and have some bread to eat. I'm not a starving caveman anymore. I then spent the entire day of day 96 in my basement just warming up with the magma blocks and campfires. I was pretty cold standing out there for so long. But the next day I heard some weird and loud stomping noises above me. I had no idea what it was, but it sounded like a giant beast waiting for me. So I got upstairs and looked around, and then suddenly the stomping stopped. I saw no signs of anything until I looked out the front window and saw this huge beast creature stomping around the front of my house. He must have smelt my crops, or felt the warmth of my entire base, or maybe saw my radio tower or something that brought him here. And he looked pretty scary. And once he roared, I almost peed my pants, I'm not gonna lie. Well, there's only one thing I could do, and that is to try to kill it. I literally had no idea what to do. My arrows weren't hurting him at all, and he can shoot spikes at me that will freeze me. I was just about to run back in my house and cry in the corner, but I decided, you know what? No one's gonna come save me, so if I die here, it will be worth it. So I ran up to him to get up close and personal, and he was blowing some weird mist at me that wasn't affecting me. But the second he shot an ice spike at me, it goes right through my shield and freezes me again. And this time I was so close to him. So I just decided to go to bed, and hopefully by tomorrow I'll have enough energy to go fight him. And I was praying my house wouldn't be knocked down like Legos by the time I wake up. I left my house and he was still waiting for me. I thought he would leave me alone. I started hiding behind the satellite dish, hoping he would come closer so I could run and attack him. But once he shot an ice spike at me and missed, it was my time. I ran in for the kill. I started swinging my sword at him as much as I could as he swung back at me. And that boy got a strong left arm. He was walking away, so I ran back for more. But once I got close, I tried shooting my arrows at him again, but it wasn't working. My man's got too thick of a skin. But now that we're fighting on ice, I was much faster than him. I got right up in his grill and started swinging my sword at him. I was doing a butt ton of damage until he Hulk slammed the ice and started fighting back at me. I then blocked his right hook and gave him a last swing and killed him. And then he gave his final defeat roar. And then fell and died. Yup, I'm the king of Antarctica here. Once he died, he dropped a weird looking blue nether star thing. And it was an ice crystal. I can breathe ice now. I started using it on the frozen lake, and it would actually freeze up all of the water and turn it back into ice. It was pretty cool. Maybe I am meant to be the king of Antarctica. And maybe Antarctica was my home, and I wasn't supposed to leave this place. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this 100 days. Please drop a like if you enjoyed the video, comment down below, and please go check out my hardcore series episode 1. The series everybody has been asking me for. The link will be in the description below. I'll see you guys in the next video.